Welcome, everybody, to the course of world history. I am your host, Mr. Samuelson, and today we are talking about Islam. Our essential question of the day is, how was Islam founded and how did it spread? We're going to talk first about pre-Islamic Arabia. This here is the Arabian Peninsula, the area in which Islam is born, but it wasn't always there. There was a pre-Islamic time period. And prior to the introduction of Islam, Arabia was a mishmash of a number of religions. There were Christians, there were Jews, there were also Zoroastrians and pagans as well. Now, pagans believe in many gods and were quite numerous in the area. In fact, the number of people who lived in the area did live in tribal communities, and many of these tribal communities were pagans. Amongst these pagan communities, all gods could be worshipped within the Kaaba, a special building in the city of Mecca. This would draw in a lot of people throughout the Arabian Peninsula, making Mecca a very important commercial and trading city. One of those traders who lived in and around the Mecca area was Muhammad. Muhammad was a caravan trader, meaning he moved around quite a bit. Who on one of his travels received the word of God through the angel Gabriel. Gabriel came to Muhammad and spoke with the voice of God. This is according to Islamic tradition. Upon sharing this message that he had received from Gabriel, Muhammad gained other followers throughout the Arabian Peninsula, and his numbers began to grow. He gained a lot of power and influence. But these monotheistic teachings, this was in the Jewish and Christian traditions, Islam is also monotheistic, he represented a threat to the power structure of the polytheistic rulers within Mecca. And those Meccan rulers grew to dislike him and his teachings quite a bit. This leads us to the Hijrah, because Muhammad has to escape Mecca, flee Mecca, before he can be arrested and imprisoned by the polytheistic leaders of that city. He does so with the help of an important individual, his father-in-law, Abu Bakr. Together, they flee to Medina, a city a little north of Mecca, and they seek shelter there. And pretty soon, Muhammad's followers, learning of his flight, come from Mecca and join him in Medina. And there they begin to grow in power and strength. This event, the flight from Mecca to Medina and the arrival of his followers, this marks year one on the Islamic calendar. On the Christian calendar, this would be the year 622. This journey is known as the Hijrah, and again is the start of the story of Muhammad as a religious and political leader. Now, in 630, the Muslims in Medina, under Muhammad's leadership, attack and capture the city of Mecca, taking over that city and beginning the Islamic Empire. Muhammad, however, does not get to rule this empire for long. Muhammad dies within 2 years of the capture of Mecca, and his infant empire is thrown into a bit of chaos. There to see part of the empire through this transitional time was Abu Bakr himself. He becomes the first caliph, or the first successor, and at least in the Sunni tradition, to Muhammad. But the Sunni and the Shia, two branches of Islam, kind of disagree on what's happening here. See, upon Muhammad's death, the Ummah, or the Muslim community at large, had selected Abu Bakr, but some believed that Ali, who was Muhammad's cousin and son-in-law, that is, his cousin, and had married Muhammad's daughter, Muhammad had no sons, was the rightful successor because he was from Muhammad's family. And through Ali's children would continue the bloodline of Muhammad, which would pass through Muhammad's daughter. Shia Muslims believe that only Ali and his descendants are the rightful leaders of Islam. So Islam is growing, it's expanding within the Arabian Peninsula, but then hits this barrier. this struggle between Sunni and Shia, this struggle, this clash between Abu Bakr and his followers and Ali and his. But Ali is going to outlive many of the caliphs within the Sunni tradition. And for a short while, Ali is actually going to be recognized as the caliph by both sides in this conflict. The trouble arises, this leads to an Islamic civil war, which does disrupt the expansion of the empire. But after Ali's death, his heir, the son of Ali, grandchild of Muhammad, acknowledges the authority of a Sunni Umayyad Caliphate, that the Shia side is not going to win a major war here, and that this other family, the Umayyads, who have now been selected by the Ummah to be the caliph of the Islamic Empire, are going to rule. And the Islamic Empire is, well, religiously there's still some tension. Politically, it is now united under this large caliphate, which expands rapidly with a renewed peace. And they spread throughout the Middle East, throughout North Africa, into Southern Europe, and also into Central Asia. And this Islamic Golden Age under the Umayyad Caliphate becomes quite powerful. So that is the foundations and expansion of early Islam. I hope that you learned something, and I will see you next time. Farewell.